Hello everybody, my name is Alan from Sauber-Lab, and today we're gonna show how you can install DeepSeek locally in your machine. And then before we start to explain how you can install it, I need to explain what is DeepSeek. DeepSeek basically it's a competitor for OpenAI and competitor for ChatGPT-4. So in 2023, OpenAI released ChatGPT-4, and that's exactly time everyone started to talk about this app, how incredible is it, and that more and more people started to look more for AI as a next level information, what help you to make some decisions and other things. But the problem for ChatGPT is that it's really heavy and take a lot of money to run it and lots of money to develop it. And on the other side, DeepSeek it's a different application, totally open source, and then you can run this application with less power and cost for the developers much less to arrive in this stage and have a direct competition for ChatGPT. This reason that over the internet everyone starts to talk about this application, how incredible is it, how good you can use, but it's from a Chinese company. And because it's a Chinese company, a government can have the right to access the data. So in this way, I will not trust to run DeepSeek in the, let's say, servers there, but I can run it locally in my computer and have a nice performance, a nice readings, a nice answer, everything protected. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video. But first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed, and let's understand a little bit more about it. In this video, as I told, we're gonna focus more for DeepSeek and we're gonna try to run it local in our network. But before we start to try to do anything, we need to understand why this application is so interesting. So to do it, we're gonna come in the official website for DeepSeek and try to understand what this application promises us. So if I come here, they say DeepSeek Area 1, it's now live, open source, rival of OpenAI model number 1. What it means? It means that they promise that this application will have a similar performance as ChatGPT-4 and that you can run it. Also, if you come here, they will do some comparisons before different language that you can have. So they will compare DeepSeek v3, v2.5, Llama, Clouden and ChatGPT-4. And here, if you see, most of them they say that will have a better performance in different tests compared for OpenAI. This means that DeepSeek will have a good or similar performance than ChatGPT, but the power used to get the same information is less. They have a lot of language or a lot of different parameters, but they use less power, or at least old CPUs or old GPUs to run. They have less cost to process, and it's totally open source, so you know exactly what's going on. And if you come here, they say that this language have around 671 billion parameters. If you go for Llama, they have 405 billion, but those that it's closed source or it's not open source, let's say, you don't know how many parameters, you don't have so many information. So anytime you can inspect DeepSeek parameters or DeepSeek information, you can read it, you can have access to this information and make sure that it's safe for you. But come with the same problem. The main host for this server, this information, is currently in China, what means that if the government wants to access your data, they are allowed to do it. The rules are a little bit different compared for other countries. This reason that I'm so keen to try to run it local. Before we start to run local, what you're gonna see, we're gonna have a look how look like the page of this DeepSeek. So I'll put here, start now, and here start now. I was playing before with different chats, different informations, and it's really similar for ChatGPT. If I make a question, please tell me my next video, and that I make a question and that they will start to answer really similar from ChatGPT. They will give some instructions, they will say what you should do. Also, you can see what language that they're thinking. If you want to search something online, you can upload some files and you can just stop this information. And to be fair, what they give me, it's quite good compared for ChatGPT. And it's still everything open source. But what we want to do, we don't want to use it. We want to use our own host option, which we have control for all the data. Before we do it, we need to come here in the GitHub website, and here will be the main language, and you can read, you can see, you can understand it. So as I told, DeepSeek, it's run in the GitHub, and you can have a look what information that have, you can see the compression that they have, and you can basically run this main system. So to train this, they use not so much GPUs, not the latest revision of GPUs, and that's for you run this system, or at least to train it better, you don't need so much data or so much power, raw power, in order to load it, compared for ChatGPT that use much more power. And that's if you want to train, it will use more power as well. And here they will have a comparison for different languages, how many parameters that you have, the evaluations for the performance for each one. But what we are looking to install local on your computer. To do it, we have two options. The first one you can install directly in the Docker. The second one you can install with one application that run directly in your computer, and the second one will be application that will be in the background that will give the information for the web browser. What option that I want to install? In this video we're going to show how to install Windows, because my Windows on my computer have more power compared for my server. I use a Synology NAS. If I want to do it in the Docker, my Synology NAS will be overwhelmed and will not have enough power to run this application. So how are we going to install? As I told you, we have a few options. If I come here, this LM Studio will be one of the easiest one. What you only need to download. Here in the catalog, you can see that you have different languages. We're gonna show in another computer because I tried to run initially in this computer and didn't work as I expect. So soon I would disappear in this screen, and that I will run only in the background in the other computer. Also, the other option that you can install will be the Ollama. And you can come here in DeepSeek and you can see the different languages. 1.1 will be the more simple. What give 1.5 billion parameters. Of course, the information that they will give is a little bit more simple, and as much or as more information or more parameters that you go, the data that you are giving is really more precise and more information. Remember, only time that you have a directly competitor for the ChatGPT 4 will be if you use these 671 billion parameters. But unfortunately, my computer don't support it. I have RTX 360 Ti, so I need to have more VRAM to make sure that they run. So in this case will not be enough for my computer. But if you have a more strong computer with more GPU power, yes, you can go higher and higher. Potentially this one will be more difficult, but any other of those will be, depend of your GPU, more easy. Anyway, we're gonna move for the other computer and we can see how the language and how to understand this information. Anyway, to install it, what we need to do, as I told, we can come here and download. Once that you download, you can select what operating system to running, if you use a Mac, if you use Windows or Linux. Here will be, in my case, Windows. I can see what kind of architecture that I want to use. If I use an ARM computer, then I need to select this one. If I use a Intel computer, I need to select this. I can select any kind of revisions that I want. In this case, only have one, and then I can come here to download. Once that I download, I can open here. I can select what user that will be. In this case, I only want this specific user. I will put next. I wanted to install in this, so I'll put install, and they will install. Once that you install, they will ask what language that you want to download, and here in download, you can see what language that is downloading. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go for the other computer, and then we can see what we can do to download the other revisions, what information to have. So we're gonna do it now. Before I start to ask why you cannot see my face here, it's because I needed to run this application on another computer, because my computer that normally I use to record is not powerful enough to run this application. Anyway, here, once that you open this application, you have this screen. It's self-explanatory. Here will be all the shots, and here you can find or discover the different languages. So if you type DeepSeek, you can see, look like 7 billions of parameters, 8 billions visual lights that you're gonna have. This one will be 236 billions, but if you go for different parameters, you know that all of those will run your computer until you arrive one of those that will say likely too big for this machine. It means that yes, you can run it, but not necessarily that will do a good efficient, so at least not necessarily that you're gonna have a good result. What I mean with this, if I come here, I download let's say two languages. The first one will be with 8 billions and the second one with 32 billions. If I come here with 8 billions and select this mode, I can create a new chat and say, tell me a history, and I put enter. So straight away, they will tell my history. Let's say, tell me why the Earth is blue, let's say, and that they will look all the parameters, will try to identify it, and that will give the answer. Of course, you need to have in mind that all these answers use quite a lot of your GPU. If you don't have a GPU, they will not run as efficient as you expect. In this case, I'm using the 36 Ti. If you have more powerful GPU, they will run better, but all the information will be local. Everything that you put there will be no information delivery for any other service. Anyway, as I told, if I run this language with 8 billions, they take around 6.7 seconds to run and give this information. If I go for a little bit more heavy language, let's say 32 billions, and put OK, and I try to run exactly the same question that I ran before with a different language and send it, the history will be a little bit different, because my GPU is still with a lot of usage, but this one will take long time, and that they will not give this information. If you remember, in around 7 seconds they already start to write everything for me. Now they will still think, and that they will start to type really slow all the information, what will take longer. And if you look, it's quite similar answer that they started to put, but they will give a little bit more description, a little bit more, let's say, interpretation for the things. So guys, I hope that you like this video. If you like this video and think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and see you next time. Bye.